Algebra 1 End of Course Assessment Review. You're going to need two things as you watch this video. You're going to need your EOC Review Notes packet and then also your Algebra 1 EOC pretest. We're going to go back and forth between those two documents. This video will help you review exponents. Let's just go over some of the rules of exponents. So remember, you can use this graphic to help you actually remember the rules. So let's start with when you raise a power to a power. So notice on the graphic, first of all, it's just PEMDAS written vertically. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition, subtraction. So if you look underneath exponents, notice you see multiplication. That's a reminder that when you raise a power to a power, you're going to multiply those exponents. And you can see this example here. All of this being raised to the fifth power. You are multiplying each of these exponents by 5 and then simplifying. Now when you multiply the same base, you're going to add your exponents. Alright, sorry about that. When you multiply the same base, you're going to add the exponents. So you can see the example here, x to the 5th times x to the 7th times x to the 1st. And then you add 5 and 7 and 1, that's x to the 13th. When you divide with the same bases, you're going to subtract your exponents. So notice that we have with the x's, x squared divided by x to the 1st, 2 minus 1 is 1. And then y to the 9th divided by y to the 3rd, 9 minus 3 is 6. And then 3 divided by, 3/6 reduced is 1/2. More rules of exponents. So remember, zero exponents, that anything to the 0 power is 1. But it's only what the 0 is touching. So in this first example, notice that the exponent of 0 is only touching the y. So the 2 and the x are not affected. Now here, everything in the parentheses is being touched by the 0 power. So it just all becomes 1. Now with negative exponents, remember, they have nothing to do with negative numbers. A negative exponent just simply means move me. So if I'm in the numerator, move me to the denominator and make me positive. If I'm in the denominator, move me and to the numerator and make me positive. So in this example, only x to the negative 2 gets moved down to the denominator. The negative 3 in the front and the y at the end are unaffected. They will stay in the numerator. Now, when we convert a radical expression to a rational exponent expression, so remember a radical has a root in it, like this, and then an exponent is just what you expect, so something like this, an exponent term. So you take the power and you put it over the root. So here, the 5th root of x to the 3rd power can be written in exponent form as x. I'm going to rewrite this so you can really see the exponent. So x to the power, which is 3, over the root, which is 5. So this should actually look like an exponent. So x to the 3/5 power. Remember exponential growth and decay when things are increasing or decreasing by a multiplier amount? So here are our two general equations. Notice that we're adding, so this is growth, and in the one just below it, we are subtracting. So this is decay. So in both of these equations, that p value out front, sometimes it's also written as an a, is your starting amount. The r is your rate of growth or decay as a decimal. So if you are increasing 3%, then that would be 0.03. You move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And then t, which is the power, is the time interval. So, and that can vary just from each situation. One last thing is always remember when you're given a percent rate, like the example that I just said, 3%, when you put it into your formula, you need to move that decimal place 2 places to the left. So it always starts just to the right of the ones place. So we go 1, 2. and then just put a 0 in that empty space. So the decimal equivalent of 3 would be 0.03. Now with exponential growth and decay, the simplified expression looks like this, that y equals a times b raised to the power of x. It is growth if our b value is greater than 1. So here we have an example. Notice our a value, our beginning amount is 100. Our b value is greater than 1, so that this situation is increasing by 3 times each time it increases. Now, if b is less than 1, then we have decay. So again, our starting amount is 100A, but notice our b is 1/4, and that is less than 1. So that means each time this situation occurs, your beginning amount decreases by 1/4. You have 1/4 as much, actually. It decreases by 3/4. Now, go to your pretest packet and look at number 7. So this says, which student correctly solved this expression? So we have x to the 1/3, and we need to multiply that by x to the 1/4. So when you're multiplying same basis, you're going to add the exponents. So this will be 1/3 plus 1/4. Now you can grab your calculator to add those fractions. I'm going to go ahead and just do it by hand and get a common denominator of 12, because I know that that's a number that both 3 and 4 divide into. So my new denominator is 12, and I have to adjust my numerator, so I'm going to take this one times 4. That's what I have to do to 3 to get to 12, and then this one times 3. So our new exponent will be x to the 7/12. So let's see who did this correctly. Well, it looks like Joe says the answer is x to the 7/12 because the exponent should be added. That looks right to me. Let's look at Alex's answer. Alex says the answer is x to the 7/12 because the exponents, no, we did not multiply the exponents, so we're going with Joe. All right. Okay, a little technical difficulties. Now go back to your notes packet, locate these problems. Let's work these practice problems. So the first thing we're going to do, we're multiplying these. So we're going to add those exponents. So 1/2 plus 3/2 is 4/2 or 2. So simplify, so our answer is x squared. Now with number 2, we're dividing, so we're going to subtract those exponents. So 1/2 minus 1/4 is the same as 2/4 minus 1/4, which would actually be, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1/4. Number 3, we're raising a power to a power, so we're going to multiply those exponents. 1/4 times 4 is 1. Now number 4, we're raising each of those to the 4th power. So 5 to the 4th power is 625. I'm going to multiply my exponents together. 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 4 is 12. So our answer is C, 625, x to the 8th, y to the 12th. All right, let's look at a few more examples. So number 5, which of the following are equivalent to the 4th root of 81? So we can rewrite that as 81 to the 1/4 power, which is 3. So right away, we know that the number 3 is equivalent. Now let's work left to right and see if any of these also would equal 3. So the square root of 9 is 3, so yep, I'm circling that one. The cube root of 27, or 27 to the 1/3 power, is also 3. So 9 is not equivalent to 3, but 9 to the 1/2 power is the square root of 9, which is 3. And then finally, 81 to the 1/2 power, which is the square root of 81, is not equivalent to 3. Now let's look at number 6. So since 2015, the population of Brownsville has grown at a rate of 2.2% annually. So in 2015, Brownsville had 720,500 people. Predict what the population of Brownsville will be in 2025. So first we're going to write an equation to model the growth. Now I know you can see it there, but I'm just going to back up and go through that again. So first of all, we're going to use just our general exponential growth formula. Our starting amount is that 720,000. Well, first of all, I'm also going to note that in 2025, that is 10 years after the starting time of 2015. So y equals our beginning amount, which is 720,500, 1 plus the rate as a decimal, which is 0.022, raised to the t power. So that's just my equation to model it. But then I'm going to go ahead and plug in 10 and then just use my calculator to figure that. I'm going to round to the nearest just person. And so in this case, I need to round up. So that would be 895,660 people. That's my prediction. All right, you have now completed your end of course review on exponents. So once again, if you would like some more practice problems, talk to your teacher. You can also Google any of these topics for more problems to help you review.